In a single moment, your life can change. Moments with Marianne is a transformative hour that covers an endless array of topics with the best of the best. Marianne's guests are leaders in their field, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Each guest is gifted and a true visionary, a recognized leader in their own work. They teach others to develop, refocus, and grow. Marianne will bring the best guest and sometimes a special surprise. Don't miss this. And remember, make every moment count.
Welcome to Moments with Marianne. I'd like to introduce my very dear friend and special guest, Lynn Van Praagh Gratton. Lynn is a highly sought-after psychic medium and is referred to as a bridge between worlds. Welcome, Lynn.
Well, thank you, Marianne. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
Definitely. You know, I've known you for a long time, and my goodness, you've helped so many people with this amazing gift that you have in being able to connect people who are grieving with people that they've lost. And,
right. Thank you. Yes, you know, it definitely is a gift. That's for sure. I believe that. I always say, gift from God. That's what I say. You know, it's been in my family for many, 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 many years. Started off with my great aunt that I can, you know, understand, and then my mom, you know, and other family members, and then of course myself. You know, being the oldest of the Van Praagh siblings, you know, I feel that it just is just such a highly evolved gift that I was given, and I'm just so grateful for that.
Well, especially, I've noticed a lot of times, and it seems interesting, when there are people who have this type of giftedness, it's something that goes from like one generation to another almost, is what it feels like. Now, I understand that some of your children are gifted too, right?
Yes, my son does have the gift. You know, it really all came about 15 years ago. My husband had passed tragically and quickly, and you know, I always did have this gift. You know, growing up. In fact, I'm writing a book right now about it, and about my life story, Book of Hope, I call it. And growing up, certain things would come about, and premonitions and dreams, and, you know, I would see and hear things, and really didn't understand it. Then I was really highly surrounded around it for like the last 30 years, and actively. But I went out professionally for 15 years right after my husband had passed. That's when I was told by the universe and spirit that I needed to get out there and help a lot of people, to let them know that there is definitely life after death, and also to let them know that their loved ones are really right there with them. So, you know, after our tragedy, you know, we went out, and my son, after my husband passed also, you know, he would ask me questions and say these things, and he would come out with amazing, you know, sightings, and telling me all about what he's seen and hears, but he really doesn't want to be part of it. He doesn't want to be out there professionally. He doesn't want to be out there. He's a musician. He does a lot of his healings through music, so maybe down the road that'll all connect between the music and his gift, and hopefully, you know, he'll get out there to help people also. My granddaughter also does have it. I believe Gianna. Yeah, she, you know, she is always asking questions and she's 12 years old now. Well, no, wait, she just turned 13, as a matter of fact. And she's asked a lot of questions. Yeah, really. Yeah. She's asked a lot of questions, and even her teacher, you know, would notice certain things. And she said to you better go talk to your gran. She goes, talk to her. She'll tell you what's going on, you know, what's going on. But, you know, it's funny, Miriam, because what's happening, and a lot of the light workers in the world understand this too, is there's a shift in the world in the universe, basically. And a lot of the children are becoming awakened. And I work a lot with children. I work a lot in spirit and on the earth plane, and also work a lot with the parents, with the children, because a lot of times they'll email me and say to me, you know, my son, my daughter, they're acting different. They're seeing things. What does this mean? And they're all awakening. The world is not the same place it was 20 years ago with the dynamics of the child growing up. You know, it's a lot more spiritual, a lot more connected, a lot more.
And I'm sure parents are having a hard time if they don't have like the same level of giftedness as you do and their children do. It must be very difficult to try to understand what do we do? You know, how do we encourage that gift or just at least how do we understand it? You know?
Yeah, and you know what it is too? It's that you know, the upbringing of like all of us parents and you know, the generation even behind me, you know, who have children now, that upbringing was very strict. You know, you believe in your religion and that's it. So it's very hard for our generations to now, you know, adapt to what's coming about, but unless we connect spiritually, you know. So now basically that's what's happening. I believe that generations that are coming forth now are on a more of a spiritual direction than they were 20 years ago. And hopefully it's all going to be for the good, and the world will be full of beautiful light workers and spiritual, you know, people trying to help each other, because really come down to it, the real deal is all about love. So that's what the whole thing is here, you know. And now the children and what to say just about the kids. The kids are just amazing, you know. The kids who I've connected with here on the earth plane are just so inquisitive, and they want to know what's going on and why do I see that there and what's happening there, and you know, I'm really looking forward to working a lot with these kids. You know, that's one of my niches that I want to connect with kids on the earth plane, you know, and see what goes on in their head now, you know, basically.
Well, especially with having your own son being so gifted. I'd never heard this story about your son sharing those things with you. When your husband passed.
He you know, like I said, he doesn't want a part of it. And he, again, me as a child, you know, I would always, I would get nervous and scared when I would see spirit. I'd say, well, you know, it's a ghost, you know, it's scaring me. You know, I wasn't understanding the whole depth of it, because it did start when I was like between 3 and 4, and then whenever
no one explained it to you. No one explained to you what was going on.
I was brought up in an Irish Catholic family. My mother was very, very religious, and you know, we could not even think or talk about anything like that. You know, the only spirituality we had was the Blessed Mother. My mother used to make us watch the movies with the Blessed Mother, with the I think it was the Lords, and it was just all different, you know, Catholic movies. And you know, I was brought up like that. So if you were to mention, you know, and my mom too. You know, my mom, you know, she saw spirit, you know, and she became an alcoholic because she was scared. She didn't know what it was. She would have seizures. Oh. I was 14 years old, and she would have seizures, and I'd be there straddling her and trying to, you know, help her. And she'd say to me, "Do you see them behind you?" And I'd say, "See who?" And she goes, "Oh, you don't see my mother and my father and the Blessed Mother, you don't see them behind you?" I felt something different, like an energy behind me, but no, I didn't. I was 14 years old. I wanted to just go out and hang out with my friends, you know. So she
You're in a
drank
totally different place. Yeah.
Absolutely. She drank because she was in fear. You know, she didn't know what this was. And, you know, and now, of course, you know, I talk to her all the time, but, you know, she's in spirit. So, so it's scary. And for me as a kid, you know, I used to climb a tree. I used to, when things like that would happen, I just go right up and I was like a tomboy, just climb the top of the tree and that's it. And just sit on the tree and just think of what happened? What did I just see? What's going on? And it's just, it's scary for a kid, growing up then. And it's also, you think you're going crazy, You tell
if
these
you don't
people
have any
things,
support or people letting you know.
No support.
Yeah, that's
when
a
I was
normal thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no support. When I was in Catholic school, I used to go over to the church. Everybody was out for lunch and they were all playing around. I would go to the church and go downstairs. They had a statue of Saint Therese. And I would go down there and just keep staring at her because I felt her energy, but I wanted to see if she was going to move. And one time in my mind's eye, really, it's crazy.
Yeah.
In my mind's eye, I said, that statue just moved. I just saw her move. And
she probably did,
And she did. And I went back to the, and I thought I saw a tear coming down on her cheek. So I ran across to talk to the nun and tell her, and she said, that's wrong, that's sacrilegious. I got punished for it. I got detention for lying that I saw a statue move with a tear coming down the cheek, So, I did bring this up. No support whatsoever, no
well,
support.
And back in that day, I mean, a lot of any different thought was really kind of pushed against, So like how you're saying, it's like you got punished for it instead of saying, well, hey, let's go check it out,
Right.
And,
so of course, I put everything. I didn't want to talk about it. I have this. I'm writing a book, so I have it all in my book. But I didn't want to talk.
Yeah, we don't want to. We don't want to give it all away.
Right.
Like,
but it was scary. It was scary. And then after my husband, that's when my gift just went off the charts. That's when I knew I had to. Now I had to help people. Help them understand.
Now, when your husband passed, was it him that came? It was Dennis, right? So was it Dennis that came to you initially and said you have to help people? Was it another?
Well, no.
Another
well,
spirit?
what happened was the day that he passed, I saw his spirit rise. I saw his face was right in front of me, and it was like a grayish matter kind of face, and I knew it was him. And I was driving with my girlfriend, and I said to her, "It's Dennis. He's not with us anymore." And she looked at me and she said, "What?" And I said, "No, it's something with his head." So I saw him rise. Now a couple of weeks after, I felt his energy around me. Really strong. It wasn't him that impressed me to go out and, help people. It was the universe. It was probably, I would say, the universe, my guide, the God that you believe in, that it was a push. I almost felt like I was being pushed with my back, And,
did it feel like it was this urge, like I have to go do this? Did it feel like that?
Have to.
Yeah.
Have to do this. Have to go to this person's house. And it all started out with going to a friend's house, and there was a bunch of ladies there, and I started getting validating information from their loved ones. And that's how it all began. And it was one right after the other, and that's how it all began. It's not that I went out and advertised and anything like that. It was all divine timing, I believe, how it all came about.
Well, and knowing you and just knowing your journey, I don't profess to know all of it. There's some things I'm going to ask you here in a minute, but I know that your popularity has really grown by word of mouth, and it's spread like wildfire.
Yeah, it is.
It's like you've touched one person as far as talking with them, and I've got questions on that in just a little bit here. But you've helped one person, and then before you know it, that spider web's out, and you've got 10 other people coming to you, and you're helping them, and it just seems to continue to mushroom out from there. It's been just phenomenal to watch this organically grow like it has. I mean, the universe definitely has something in store for you, and you're on your path,
Yes, and you're right, and it's almost like it's almost like a car that's starting off slow and then just picking up speed, and then going 100 miles an hour, and I do believe that, and I say I go where the universe wants me to be, because I always
say that many times, yeah.
Yes, I do. And I'm all over all over the country. I'm out of the country. I'm all over. But
you're all over the map.
I'm all over the map, right? People say they follow me on Facebook page, and they get dizzy because I'm always going somewhere, But that's how it is. But I'm just I'm where they want me to be, and it's all trust. I trust 100%. So I live my daily life through trust of the universe and my higher power. That's how I live my daily life. If they say, well, you got to go to Florida tonight.
Yeah, and I've heard many times when we're at when I've seen you at events, or you're doing a small group event, as opposed to some, even the larger ones. I've seen you do this, where you're really thanking God, the universe, for your gift at the end of every time you're able to help people and to bring along the messages of love from the other side. So
right, I have gratitude.
I've seen you do that every time. One of the questions I have now, when you're doing an event, or maybe just even a reading, and you have, let's say, a mother who's lost her son sitting across from you. When you're connecting with her, and she's obviously very much in grief, when you're connecting with her and then also with the son on the other side, how does that feel?
Well, I am definitely an empath, of course, so I pick up any kind of emotion from anybody.
So you're picking on the mom's grief, and you can really feel that?
On the mom's saddened grief, yes. But on the other hand, I have this excited energy that's so excited to connect with Mom. There's not a sadness with the son or the daughter. It's like it's a light energy, and it's a fast frequency, fast vibration. So there, in fact, this weekend I was in Nashville, and I was at a conference, and I had the honor of spending some time with a mom who had lost her son. And we had an amazing time, and we sat down, and her son came through, and she just wrote a book, so she's working through how she has to work through, and he's an amazing energy. And he came through, and he was all excited, and his vibration was off the charts, and he was so excited because he has their black and white dog named Mork, and he wanted to tell Mom that that's okay. Mork is with him, and the dog just transitioned over in June, and Mom was sitting there, we're talking about the book and everything, and I said, I just have to tell you, I said, Mikey's telling me to tell you that Mork's with him, he's sitting on his lap, and I said, is he a black and white dog, a small black and white dog? She goes, yes, that's Mork. And I said, that's Mork. So she was so excited that the dog was with Mikey. Mikey was excited to bring that message forth to her. So to answer your question, I go off for a little, but she was so grateful. And he was so happy. So it was like I was dealing with two different dimensions. One's so excited, and she's real excited the dog's there, and she said, you made my day, you made my day knowing that that Mork is with Mikey. And of course I said, well, then where's Mindy? Mindy's got to be here on the earth, right? She goes, yes, we have Mindy with us. So it was so cute, but
well, Mork and Mindy
but that was, but Marian, that was a good session, a good connection, because Mom, like I said, is writing the book, so she's in a good place right now with him. On the other hand, you have parents who have, recently lost their child, or a year lost their child, and I do feel that sadness, and I do feel that upsetment. But, if I have a parent who's very skeptic and doesn't believe, and I've had many of that situation, by the time I leave, their child will make sure that they bring messages forth that will make that parent feel that love and know that that child is right there with them and right there with them.
Can you, when that happens, you have a parent that's grieving, or a family member, and they're they're deep in their grief. I mean, I lost my father in June. I understand how that hits, it just hits us. So when they're deep in their grief, and then that transitions over to, that excitement and joy and that knowing that they're getting the messages from their loved one, can you feel that too? Can you feel the shift in what it is that they're feeling?
Yes,
so,
I feel a smile from the other side, from the loved one, and I feel a definite shift in the parent. The more information that comes through that's validating, the more the parent wants more and believes. I've had parents who said, "Can you stay overnight with us? We want to just talk all night to them." And I said, they're right here. They're right here, and I do feel the emotion and how it all shifts. The best feeling in the world, and I've had it, and I'm again so in gratitude for it. I've had people come to me and say, "Oh my God, you've changed my life." Now it could be from somebody who hasn't talked to their father in 40 years, and now their father's coming through with messages, or somebody who had a problem with their child, or was wondering if that child passed the way they said they passed. So to give that parent also that feeling of relief. The hardest thing, we all lose our loved ones, but I feel the hardest thing is a parent who loses a child, okay?
Oh,
that is the hardest grief you can go through. And I'm also talking not only children who are here in the earth plane, but I'm also talking miscarriages, stillborns, abortions. They always carry the guilt, okay? But the miscarriages, those are babies too. They're all a soul, So there's a loss with that. I had a miscarriage. I lost. So I can relate to that, and it's not as it is if I had that child walking around, but it still is a loss, a part of you, So that is the worst feeling. But to see a parent say, "Thank you, you've made me feel so much better. I can handle this a little better than I've handled." Not that it's going to make anything that better, but at least they can wake up the next day and feel a little bit better than they did the day before,
Like they know that their son or daughter is okay,
Yes.
Their family member is okay.
And again, Marian, it's a parent always wants to know where their child is. So on Earth, where are you? Where you're out, you're here with your friends. When the child transitions over, they don't know. They don't know where they are. They don't know where they're going to be. So it's like they're in a loss. They're like in a void, But now that everybody is awakening so much more, and the veil is getting thinner, a lot more mysteries are coming about. To me, it's about the message that comes forth. That's the most important thing.
Well, Lynn, this is probably, this might be the greatest gift that you can offer someone. I can easily understand why for many years you've been called the bridge between worlds. Just the messages that you bring from the other side here, and how those messages helped in a healing process. I know it's different for everyone, but they, even if it's a small impact, that's a big thing when you're grieving, and just
Absolutely.
going through that whole loss process. At least you know that they're doing okay, and it's, I think a lot of times people might be a little conflicted about, is it the end, Is that it? Even though we know.
It's not. And I got to tell you, I this weekend was off the charts amazing. It was beautiful people and that I had met, and it was funny because one of the ladies that I was with for this weekend, and in regards to, I went to a conference 2 weeks ago, Life in the Afterlife, okay? So we had that portion, and now I had this weekend, and this weekend, I was with Eben Alexander, Proof of Heaven, and I was with some
I understood
people.
You spent some time with him.
Yes, well, it was a whole weekend, and him and William Henry, they were beautiful souls. But there's no coincidences in life how life is. We were there at a conference, and I was with this beautiful friend of mine. I was with a couple of beautiful friends, but I was with this beautiful friend of mine, and she was upbeat the whole time, and she, we're talking all about this, and now she plays this song that somebody that she knows, and it's about the angel that's around us, and the angel that's in heaven, and it's all about the angel. And she says, I can't get this song off my mind. It's so crazy. I just keep singing the song, and and it's just wild. And I said, well, that's good. That means you have a special angel around you, And lo and behold, she gives me a call yesterday afternoon. She just got home the night before, and her birthday was Friday. We celebrated her birthday, but she hadn't heard from her mom. She says, that's so weird. My mom usually would call me on my birthday, and she hasn't. So she got home yesterday, and she called her mom. Now, this weekend was a dynamic Life After Earth weekend, and she gets home, and she's all excited to call her mom and tell her about the weekend. Her mom's not answering the phone.
Oh, no.
So, long story short, mom transitioned over on her birthday. So she got home, and I was on the phone with her last night talking with her, and but she understood it a lot more. If this would have happened a week ago, it would have been looked at in a different way. Now that she had this beautiful weekend, and we spent the weekend together, and she was with Eben Alexander and William Henry and Claire Henry, and we were all together. It helped soften, the hurt when she found out that mom transitioned over. So why I'm saying that is, and I'm sharing this, is that there's really no coincidences. Things happen. She was being cushioned before, okay? Your angels and spirit and the universe, they watch over us constantly, and they know what's coming about, and she was in a good place. And last night when we hung up, she was in a good place at that point, I believe. But thank me for being there. That, that was so special, and that she understood that mom is not just going to be, either, ashes, or mom's not going to be put in the ground, that mom's really right here with her now. And that's why she was listening to that song the whole weekend, so,
how
I just had to share that story because,
I'm so glad you did. So glad you
and
did.
again this morning, another person that I know very well just connected with me, that I've known for a while. Her sister just transitioned over. So it's so wild how these things all come about, But these people are light workers, and they understand that they're not just going there; they're going everywhere. Basically.
For sure. For sure.
So
Well,
I just had to share that.
Oh, I'm so glad you did. I'm so glad you did. And what we're going to do is we're going to pause for a quick break here and come back. And when we come back, I know that one of the things that you talk and teach about often is signs and how to see these, the signs that our loved ones leave for us that are on the other side. So when we get back, I'd like to start talking about that because you have some very exciting information in regards to that. So we're just going to take a quick break. We'll be back momentarily, and you don't want to miss this next part with Lynn Van Praagh Gratton.
Are you dreading your next business trip with all of the unhealthy food choices? Well, eating healthy while on the road for business is no longer a hopeless battle. Natasha Leger, a road warrior herself, not a doctor, dietitian, or nutritionist, but a real-life business person, understands the unique stresses of business travel and has written a book to inspire us and show us how easy it is to make healthy choices while on the road. Order Travel Healthy, a road warrior's guide to eating healthy at travelhealthybook.com. That's travelhealthybook.com.
Are you having an average day? Do you seem to be having more average days than great days? I'm Marina J, and I help women turn that around. If you want fast, deep transformation on the stuff that hurts you the most, visit me at marinaj.net to receive support and inspiration now, because your happiness is everything.
In a single moment, your life can change. Join Marianne Pestana, host of Moments with Marianne, for a transformative hour of leaders in their field, ranging from inspirational authors, top industry leaders, business and spiritual entrepreneurs. Tune in to experience Moments with Marianne every second Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, all part of the Dream Vision 7 radio network. Don't miss this. And remember, make every moment count.
Ben Wexler is a gifted leadership development and strategy consultant for professionals who want to transform their organizations and careers. Through a uniquely personalized set of processes, participants discover their unique knowledge, how to leverage that knowledge and experience, and then put it all together with a global strategy. You're more valuable, your organization is more valuable, and the change is viral. Contact Ben at 630-881-1074, 630-881-1074.
In 2012, after returning home from Iraq and Afghanistan, Sean Gobin hiked over 2,000 miles of the Appalachian Trail. Recognizing the therapeutic effects of long-distance hiking, Sean founded Warrior Expeditions, a veteran nonprofit therapy program that supports veterans transitioning from their military service by hiking America's national scenic trails. Equipment and supplies are provided, as well as assistance with job placement. For more info or to help support these veterans, visit warriorexpeditions.org.
Welcome back to Moments with Marianne. I'm here with Lynn Van Praagh Gratton, a dear friend of mine and very amazingly gifted psychic medium. And so, Lynn, before we left, I was giving him a little spoiler saying we're going to talk about signs from the other side. And why don't we start with the first sign you ever received? And what is a sign from the other side?
Okay, well, there's a lot of signs. I talk a lot about the signs, and because the biggest things are people, want to hear from their loved ones, want to know, well, if they're coming through, well, what is it? What can they need to show me something.
If they're visiting them, yes.
Absolutely. I'm a very big, well, mediums are usually skeptical, because they believe, but they really want information and want signs. I got some great stories on that. But what had happened is 2 weeks after my husband had passed, before he had passed, we had made an agreement because he was a non-believer. He said, your family is crazy. There's nothing, he was brought up again Catholic and straight-laced and believed in what he believed in. And he was a city detective in New York, and, he was just very focused and, he didn't believe any of this. And he says, well, if this is true and I pass before you, I'm going to send you dimes. And if you pass before me, you send me dimes. This way we'll know that that's, our sign to each other that, we're around. So we agreed, and 3 years later he had passed, and it was about 2 weeks after he had passed. I was just getting out of bed, and, we're still grieving, and we're upset and everything, and all of a sudden I feel something on my leg, and it's a dime stuck to my leg. And I'm like, oh. I said, wouldn't this be something else? I'm getting out of bed, and there's a dime on my leg. We don't bring money to bed, so,
no.
It was just wild how it happened, And
had he shown up to you before that in spirit?
No.
No,
I just felt energy around my face, and I felt like breezes, and I knew that was him, kissing or stroking me or just knowing that he's there, Yeah. So it started with the dimes, and I would tell a lot of, my clients and everything when I went to their homes and stuff that you have to look for the dimes. And some people would say, well, I look for pennies and quarters, and I say, well, dimes, it's inflation. It's more money now instead of pennies. But I tell them I'm opening up your mind to the thought of dimes. And this way, now when you see a dime, I said, you're going to leave me today, and you're going to see dimes a lot in the next couple of days. And that's from your grandmother. That's from your mom. It's just a little sign of I love you, just like that. So
I'm here.
That was the dime.
I'm here. I'm around you. I love you.
Absolutely. Yeah. That they're here. A lot of times we go through something and say, oh, boy, if you were only here, and you could help me with this. And then you see a dime. It's like, oh, okay, you're around. I had to just get a car, and I was really, and he still to this day, 15 years later, I'm still, we still connect that way. And I said, I needed a decision. And I said to him, so I said, show me a sign that, I should get this car, because I have to get another car. And 4 days go past and I don't see anything. And I'm looking all over the place. And all of a sudden, I get the car. And I'm like, oh, boy, I made this decision. I get the car. I'm wondering if this is a good idea. I feel it is. And I go and open the secret compartment that's in the front of the car that I never even saw. And I open it, and sure enough, there's a dime sitting right there in the car. So I said, you got to be kidding. It's like I'm talking to you. You got to be kidding. So dimes, I feel. Also, a lot with license plates. License plates, there's a lot of messages on license plates. You just have to open your eyes and beware.
There have been many times you and I have been driving around when you come out to Colorado, and you'll be like, that's Dennis's badge number.
Yes, his shield number. I see his shield number a lot. Or I'll see a sign, the license plate that says dime. But he wanted to make it known that there was life after transitioning over. So my daughter had purchased a car, and she had to get a new license plate. And again, through the license plate said CME, CME, and 6007. He passed on June 7th. I mean, you can't get clearer than that.
Yeah.
So
that's
license plates, butterflies, dragonflies, white feathers. This is another great one. I'm in Yankee Stadium, last year. And
your husband used to love the Yankees, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, loved the Yankees.
That was his team.
Yeah, it was. In fact, last night we're watching the Mets because of New York, playing off here. And I said to my son, boy, Daddy's probably saying, look at these two. What about the Yankees, But we're in Yankee Stadium, and I said, Dennis, oh, my God, look at this beautiful stadium. It's so beautiful, and just let me know, give me a sign that you're around here and you see Roger Maris, Mickey Mantle. And I went to sit down on the bleachers there, and we're talking 52,000 people. So I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden a white feather comes flying down and lands on my leg. And I said, it's not a pigeon, because it wasn't gray. It was a white feather. So I said, I can't believe you're here. And then a couple of people down from me, this guy yells to his friend down the front, Dennis, Dennis. And I'm like, got it, you're here. And then that wasn't good enough. When I went back to my car, there was a dime that was balanced on my front seat. So did he want me to know that he was there? Yes. So he was there with you.
And he wanted it to be loud and clear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loud and clear. Music also. So if there's a song that connects, you with your loved one, and that song comes on, know that they're right there with you at that moment. They're always with you, but at that moment, they're really there. Their love is there. So that's my song.
Now, are these all signs from your husband, or some of them from angels?
No. There's signs from. What do you mean, signs for other people or just for me?
For you. So when you have like the feather, we know the dimes.
Some for my husband, but I would see a license plate and it would say Al something. My dad was Alan, so Al. So no, there's signs from everybody. It's not just him. So it could be signs.
I'm sure everyone's
for your loved
knocking on your door from the other side.
Yeah. They're knocking. I have to calm them down sometimes.
Well, and so when you wake up in the morning, are there always spirits around you, or do you have your home set in a set so that you have like a space where you can think and process and do your own thing?
Right, I do. I do have a space set in my home, and the answer to your question is there's two things I know, and one is you have to protect yourself. So I protect myself with prayer in the morning and at night with God white light, and I say my meditations and my prayer, and I call it being that my family was in Broadway and TV, I call it curtains up, curtains down. When I visualize that curtain down, that means I am closed off to having spirit energy, come to me, come forth of me, unless, and I've made this with my guides and gatekeepers and everything, unless it's something that really needs to come through, then please bring it forth. Otherwise,
some type of emergency.
Yeah, I am closed. When I'm open, curtains up. And when I'm open, I give a lot of my little secrets away, but that's okay. We got to share it all.
Well, I know that you are also going to be teaching workshops coming up, and you've been doing this, but in a more dramatic way. You're going to be teaching workshops, so people who are empaths or who, or psychics or psychic mediums are able to learn how to develop that gift.
Absolutely. And Marian, I this is my belief system. I mean, everybody has their own belief system and how they handle and believe this. I totally, we're all intuitive. We are all intuitive. We all can be a psychic. There's no doubt. If you develop the correct way, you can be a psychic. There's no doubt. It's that intuition. Mediumship, this is my belief again, but I believe that it's a gift from God. Okay? And you can develop that more into a deeper connection, but I definitely feel that is definitely a gift from God. Can you go to a school and learn about mediumship? Maybe you can in that way, but it's really funny, and it's not ego or nothing, but I really haven't read books or nothing. It's just that it's just here. It's here. And again, I trust in the universe. And the biggest thing is to have that trust. If you can trust that and faith. Know, and that faith, that trust, know that it's okay. That's hard to let that go. That's hard. A lot of people, I've taught a class already, and a couple of my students have said, well, I don't know about trust. How can I trust? And that's one of the biggest things. If you have that and you let go and you trust and you have that faith, that I believe you have everything, and it'll all come.
We get in our own way
absolutely.
On that,
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what? If you're doing service to help people, because really that's what it's all about, is to help one another, and to love one another. If you're doing that service is going to come back to you tenfold. That's where you're going to be introduced to beautiful people that have that connection with you. It's like, you get what you get back what you put out, and I believe that, and that's my firm belief, that you just got to do good, spread the love.
Yeah. Definitely. And you're such a beautiful conduit for that. I've seen, of course. I mean, we've had a couple of very large events with a few hundred people where you were out here and this person came in and it was, I remember this lady particularly, she was really in her grief and very skeptical about the whole thing, but knew she had to be there anyway. And you gave her some very concrete things that no one would know anything else about, very specific, just very odd and specific things. It's like, you can't make this stuff up.
Right.
But you gave her these confirmations, and her whole energy and her demeanor and her face changed. She came in and she was carrying so much pain, and she left and she looked lighter. I wouldn't say that she was a totally happy person, but she was lighter, and that weight was off of her. You could easily see that weight was gone.
Right. Well,
wasn't carrying that all that heaviness around.
Yeah,
really
and that happens a lot. I get that a lot. Where and I mean, that is the best feeling you could ever get, is to know that you helped that person, even if it was just a little bit. Even just with one little word. And that's the best feeling when I get, oh my God, you changed my life, or you're a life changer. Again, no ego here, just, wow. And it wasn't me. It really was your loved ones. It's not me. I'm just...
Yeah. I know you really well, and you have no ego. So,
yeah, no, I really try not to put that. I used to say if I won the lotto, I said I'd be probably bankrupt for the week because I'd be giving it to everybody. I just want everybody to be happy. That's how I live my life.
Yeah, ego is not even a word that I would describe anywhere near you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I really come from the heart. Yeah, I really. You know what, Marianne? Because I've been through it. I've been through, and it's not just about me, but I've been through the garbage all my life. I've been through, tragedies. I've been through. I worked for the airlines, so I've been through 9/11. I've lost flight attendants who, I managed. So, I've been through a lot of different things, and that's, like I said, that's what my book's going to be all about, because I want people to know that you could be at your worst, but you know what? Just keep the faith, and it will get better. The light does shine at the end of that tunnel. You just have to hang on, and it'll come. And we attract what we have. So light attracts light. If you want that positive around you, you'll attract that positive, you know. If you're going to be all depressed and down in the dumps and this and that and I can't do this, you're going to attract all that, you know. So why not attract the positive?
Well, and if you are grieving, you know, get into that will help you go through that process, or speak to Lynn or somebody like Lynn in order to have that connection and start to lift some of that some of that grief, so that you can, you know, we don't get over it. That's not what ever happened.
No.
But we want to get through it. We really want to be able to get through it the other side.
Bring it through to the other side, absolutely. Absolutely. And like you said, you know, people, I mean, there are people who've been grieving for years, 15, 20, 25 years, you know. And you know what happens when you're, and you know, I'm not to say don't grieve, oh my God, of course not. But you know what, if you're in that motion of those years, you're going to get yourself ill. You're going to get yourself sick, you know. And I get that a lot with people with survivor guilt. Survivor guilt, I talk about all the time, is one of the biggest, because there's so many people. Oh my God, I had an argument, and then, you know, they passed, or they were in an accident, or I said things I shouldn't have said, or I should have called and I didn't, you know, or I shouldn't have pulled the plug or told them to do that. Don't carry that.
I was the only person who took a separate car, and all my friends were in this other car, and they didn't make it.
I get a lot of that. Or they survived. There were 4 people in the car and one survived. You know, I get a lot of that, and they carry it around, and it's only human to carry it around like that. You know, but you have to try to work with it and try to let that, you know, work its process, basically. You know, work its process. It'll, you know, it will, you know, down the road it does get better. You know, it'll never be gone, but it does get better.
No.
You know.
No, you know what, and when we lose somebody who we love deeply and care about, you know, it's like our grief is equal in many times to that loss. And being able to get through that and get to the other side, we're different people afterwards. You know,
absolutely
who we are, but yeah, we're also able then to help other people who are going through the same thing we are. You know, death is not exclusive to one person. You know, we all have to go through that. We all have to travel that path of losing people that we care about. You know.
That is true. That is very true. Very, very true. Yep, for sure.
Well,
for sure.
Yeah, Lynn,
wow.
I can sit on the phone here, on the call here, talking with you for hours.
Oh, boy. Well, I have stories to tell you.
I know you always do. You always do. We have the best talks.
Yeah, yes, we do.
We just have the best conversations in regards to all this.
And we're blessed to know each
important.
other, so that's good. Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Well, and the lessons we learn from this, and the people that you help through your journey. So before we get signing off here and saying goodbye to all of our listeners, I would like to, you know, for you to tell how they can find you. Where you know, how can they connect with you?
Okay. Well, first of all, I am on Facebook. I do have a public page and a personal page on Facebook, so hop on Facebook and come on my page. It's really pretty cool. You know, I try to post, you know, keep everybody known where I'm going to be or what I'm doing. I also post intuitively some posts, inspirational posts that maybe I feel at that point in time. So on Facebook, they can contact me on my email, lvpg@aol.com. Also, my website is Lynn Van Praagh-Gratton.
Why don't we let me spell that? It's Lynn, LYNN VANPRAAGH Gratton GRATTON
.com.
.com. Sorry.
Yes.
Can't
Yes.
.com.
Yeah. And also there, if you want to, a lot of times we always post where I'm going to be on Facebook and on my website also. So, you'll find out any information on there. Also, my office number, if you care to book an appointment. I do appointments also by phone and
over the phone.
Over the phone and in person also, and that's 917-882-1391, and that's wonderful.
I know you do appointments in person at these specific events, or if they're in the New York area, but mostly people would have to catch you at one of these events where you're hosting to actually do spend an appointment with you in person. I know 90% of the time, myself or other people who have booked time with you, that's all done over the phone. Spirit knows no boundaries.
Right. Yes. So. Yes. That's for sure. And I'm going to, I'm like for instance, I'm going to be in Bayonne, New Jersey on October 30th at a restaurant there. I believe there's
and you're almost sold out on that.
Yeah, I think they had called and said there's a couple of seats open. So if anybody would care to,
so if you're in Bayonne, New Jersey, and you want to see Lynn, you better hop on it. She's only got a couple seats available there.
Yeah, and that's October 30th. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
that'll be a good day to do an event.
For Halloween, yeah, I know. A lot of people said we wear costumes. Oh, well, whatever. Whatever you want.
If you want. Yeah, you're busy with Spirit.
But, yeah, really. But so it's it's exciting. So basically that's it. And I am working on a book that hopefully should be out. We're looking towards launching it towards the spring. So that should be coming up, and workshops. We're getting together some workshops, so that'll all be on my website or on my Facebook page also.
I know. Rumor has it you're going to be coming back out to Colorado to do a couple of events out here.
Yes, I'll be coming out. I believe we're talking right now between January and February. We're just trying to get some dates together. So
that'll
we'll
be
back out.
Well,
yes,
I will be in the front row.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you. And also, there's going to be a very big event in Vermont in May. They're planning a big event at a hotel in May, so that'll be kind of exciting. I know it sounds far away, but let me tell you, the older you get, the quicker it goes, and it you turn around and it's here. So
it's here. Well, and not only that, but for our listeners, Lynn does book up months in advance, so you can always get on her cancellation list. But you definitely, she's a hot ticket, and for very good reason. So, well, Lynn, I want to thank you so much. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being on the show today and spending time. I'd love to have you back on the show. We can never touch all the topics I want to talk about. We'd be here for days.
Thank you, Marianne. Thank you so very much for having me also. I'm honored.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And to our listeners, I want to thank you all for tuning in and spending this time with us. And remember, make every moment count.
Join us next time for Moments with Marianne, when host Marianne Pestana brings another inspirational gifted leader to help us grow. Tune in every second Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for Moments with Marianne, when the Dream Vision 7 radio network is at 1510 a.m. Boston. Or catch Moments with Marianne every Thursday and Friday at 5 p.m. and 5 a.m. Eastern Time by going to dreamvision7radio.com. To learn how Marianne started her business from the ground up, visit mariannepestana.com. Don't miss this, and remember, make every moment count.